Coming up on the Hilton Head News, area retailers say Small Business Saturday brings shoppers into stores. Also ahead, it's official, the holidays are underway on Hilton Head Island. And close to 1,400 runners and walkers get a workout in before eating their Thanksgiving meal. Stay tuned, the Hilton Head News is next. Welcome to the Hilton Head News. Here's a look at headlines on Monday, November 26th. Local retailers were ready and waiting for Small Business Saturday. This is the third year that Small Business Saturday has been held on the day after Black Friday. American Express created that campaign back in 2010 to encourage people to patronize local small businesses. Island Girl at Caligny Plaza saw quite a few shoppers.
Small Business Saturday has been working out beautifully today. We've had lots of local people and lots of new customers as well. It gets local people shopping with their neighbors, and it also supports the community, and it gets people into stores that they might not normally go into. The outlets are the outlets. They're always going to have the same thing, but it's nice to see something a little different.
Also on Saturday, people and pets gathered at the Arts Center of Coastal Carolina in anticipation of the town's tree lighting ceremony. Youngsters got their pictures taken with Santa, but not everyone was thrilled to have that opportunity. Everyone was thrilled, however, when Town Councilwoman Kim Likens, standing in for Mayor Drew Laughlin, lit the tree. An 8 a.m. start and a chilly temperature of 48 degrees on Thanksgiving Day didn't keep close to 1,400 runners and walkers from taking part in the 24th annual Piggly Wiggly Turkey Trot on Hilton Head Island. The theme was obvious, turkeys, and there were plenty of participants who dressed the part. The overall female winner of the 5K race was Julianne Torello of Southeastern with a time of 19:04, and the overall winner in the men's 5K was Anthony Vecchio of Hilton Head Island with a time of 15:43. In the 10K race, the overall female winner was Claire Dickman with a time of 38:19, and the overall men's winner was Jamie Epstein with a time of 36:28. The Marsh Tacky horse races, which usually are part of the Gullah celebration, have been canceled for next year. According to the Carolina Marsh Tacky Association, the races at Caligny Beach have been canceled because the association says a disgruntled group has been trying to enter unregistered horses in that race. The event sponsors say the races won't take place next year because of liability and safety issues. For more on this story, go to Tom Barton's article at islandpacket.com. Angel Flight Southeast, a nonprofit organization that flies patients to medical facilities for treatment, has recognized a volunteer pilot from Hilton Head Island. Earlier this month, Jack Schuler was named the winner of the South Carolina Pilot of the Year award. Schuler, along with other pilots who fly patients for medical treatment, pay all those costs so their passengers can fly for free to receive medical treatment. Now here's what's happening around the region. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham is among several Republicans who are saying they're open to increasing the amount of money the government collects in taxes. Senator Graham said on ABC's This Week with George Stephanopoulos that while he opposes raising income taxes, he is open to increasing tax revenue by reducing the availability of deductions for items like charitable giving and mortgage interest. The senator, along with many congressional Republicans, had signed Grover Norquist's Taxpayer Protection Pledge, which signals opposition to any and all tax increases. When asked about that pledge, Graham said, quote, "When you're $16 trillion in debt, the only pledge we should be making to each other is to avoid becoming Greece. And Republicans should put revenue on the table," end quote. A 2-ton great white shark seems to like it off the coast of South Carolina. The shark, known as Mary Lee, is wearing a satellite tag and was spotted off the coast near the Isle of Palms on Saturday. It's the second time Mary Lee has been to the Low Country this month. She was tagged back in September off of the coast of Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and ever since has been tracked by a group that tags and monitors sharks. Christmas tree growers in South Carolina are expecting a strong sales season this year. Last year, sales of state trees were up 15%. According to the National Christmas Tree Association, the Palmetto State has nearly 2,000 acres devoted to Christmas tree production and harvests approximately 30,000 trees per year. When we come back on the Hilton Head News, hot off the press with Lynne Hummell of the Hilton Head Sun. Town Manager Steve Riley talks about a new group that will be faced with the task of working on economic development. And Charlie Clark has our business report. Stay with us.
Welcome to our Christmas Wonderland at Antiques and Garden Collectibles at the Greenery.
Fabulous ideas for decorating and gifts await you. What's new this year? Silver, gold, and champagne colors for Christmas. Big paper snowflakes with lights, large Christmas ornaments to hang from chandeliers, whimsy Laurie C. Mitchell figurines, mercury glass, Aunt Sadie's tree in a can aroma candles, nativity scenes, tabletop trees, and more. Make your first holiday stop Antiques and Garden Collectibles at the Greenery.
It's time for Hot Off the Presses here on the Hilton Head News, and joining me, Lynne Hummell of the Hilton Head Sun. Hi, Lynne.
Hi, how are you?
I had an incident recently where a friend found a rat in her attic, and apparently news is that's becoming a little more common here on Hilton Head Island, right?
Yes, it is. Kind of a scary thing, isn't it? And the officials say that the rat population hasn't necessarily increased, but there has been an increase in sightings and infestations in the homes of these marsh rats, the big rats that come in from the water. This is partly because of the higher tides and the increased rain that we've been experiencing, and it's driving the rat populations out of their homes and into ours. It also occurs when colder weather hits, and of course they're looking for a warmer place to stay. And that we're being told that residents can curb this infestation by removing food, water, and shelter sources for the rodents, covering gaps that go into fireplaces or walls and pipes where they can gain access to your home. And you could also set traps and clean up previous droppings by using bleach and water or some other kind of disinfectant.
Well, some good advice there, Lynne. Now, good news in the form of real estate sales on the island, right?
That is good news. It's always good news when real estate increases around our community. Realtors are pointing to a fresh momentum this fall that has spurred home sales in October to a 28.6% increase in Hilton Head and Bluffton area and a 13.8% gain in Beaufort when compared to last year. And specifically in October, home sales this year were 283 as opposed to just 220 last year.
Well, that sounds great. And before we let you go, some great news for Deep Well. They were given special recognition for the manner in which they run their nonprofit. Tell us about that, if you will.
Absolutely. Deep Well is one of our longest standing and most loved nonprofits on the island. It was created in 1973, and this year has made the South Carolina Secretary of State's Angels List for nonprofits, which is an extremely high honor for charities. It means that a high percentage, and in this case of Deep Well, 91.6% of all their funds raised go directly back into services for those that they serve. And as most people probably know, Deep Well provides emergency shelter, rent payments, utility payments, meals, and at Christmas time, of course, they're collecting new toys and non-perishable foods so that others in our community who are a little less fortunate than some of us can have a happy holiday.
Well, Lynne Hummell of the Hilton Head Sun, thank you for joining us here on the Hilton Head News.
Thank you.
Steve Riley, Town Manager of Hilton Head Island, is with us on the Hilton Head News. Steve, thank you for joining us.
Good to see you again.
Well, I read that last week Town Council voted to create what would be known as a nonprofit marketing and business recruitment organization. Can you tell us about that?
Well, this is something that's been talked about for several years, that we really don't have an entity like this, that we formed this town to sort of chase away developers, and now we're in a different era and we need to maybe sit down and talk and try to do some recruitment. And a committee was formed last year following the council workshop, some local citizens, to try to look at what other communities our size are doing in this area and how we might structure this and what are the things we might focus on. That committee produced a report and suggested that, yeah, we ought to get more involved with this. This isn't a replacement of like the Low Country Alliance. It's not a replacement or in competition with like the South Carolina Department of Commerce, but it's really what most communities use it for, is to supplement those efforts, get them a little more localized, get at the nitty-gritty of, do we need to provide a little bit of local incentive beyond what the state or the county may have to offer. And that it ought to be structured with a nonprofit as a nonprofit with a board of directors and a quasi-independent executive director, and I say that because ultimately, if they really want to provide any kind of incentive or help, it's going to have to throw through town council. They're going to be the ones with the money and the control. So some things they'll be able to do on their own, but many things they'll probably have to come back to the town for coordination for. But the idea is that this group would then have some expertise, draw from the community expertise of people who have been in business in other parts of the country and frankly here, the world, and then try to be a little independent, not have to have your first meeting in a government office, but and try to focus a little more attention on that business recruitment, business retention.
So in addition, though, to business recruitment and retention, it's also trying to entice people to come retire here, to come live here, work here, right? Any idea when this will get up and running?
Not precisely. We need to draft some bylaws. We need to start recruiting who that board would be. We need to start advertising. We need to figure out what we're going to do about office space. We've got, as has been reported, some money that was in the budget. Does it pay for office space and employees and everything else? Probably not, but it's enough to get us started, and then we can get at some true costs and start budgeting going forward.
Well, Steve Riley, we may not see you again before the holidays, so I want to say happy holidays to you, and we appreciate all the times you've come and joined us on the Hilton Head News. Thanks so much.
Enjoyed it, and if not before, I'll see you next year.
And now joining us on the Hilton Head News, Charlie Clark. She is the Vice President of Communications for the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber of Commerce. Hi, Charlie.
Hi, Allie.
Well, let's talk about shopping over the weekend. And what about the Low Country's Small Business Saturday? What's the word that you've gotten on that?
Well, good news. You know, consumer confidence seems to be riding high right now, and that holds well for the Low Country as well. According to the National Retail Federation, shopping dollars were up 13% over last year, and that's considerable when you consider that $59 billion was spent this past weekend during the busy holiday shopping season, and Low Country businesses undoubtedly benefit from that too.
Well, it was interesting. We had a chance to stop over at Coligny and spoke to someone at Island Grill, and she had said that people really were taking into account that it was Small Business Saturday and locals were shopping there. So I guess it works.
We think it's sort of the start of a movement. You know, we're really thrilled to be partnering as a Chamber of Commerce with the U.S. Chamber and with American Express on this program, and it really is. We like to look at Small Business Saturday was an important day. Usage was up in terms of retailers that were participating as well as shoppers being reminded of how important small businesses are to our community. But we'd like to see it continue throughout the holiday season and beyond. We think it's a great way to kick it off with Small Business Saturday, but as people are shopping throughout the year, it's important to remember, you know, small businesses are responsible for over the last 2 decades for 2 out of every 3 jobs. So it's important.
What do you say then to people, residents of the area, that they can do to support the business community during the holiday season? What else?
Well, I think it's important to remember that your dollars matter. Your dollars count. The dollars you spend in those stores actually have a ripple effect. And that ripple effect extends far beyond the holiday season. And so everything you can do to just kind of be reminded, remind your friends and neighbors to shop local and shop in our local small businesses is important that they get a share of the pie when it comes to holiday retail spending.
Well, Charlie Clark with the Chamber of Commerce, Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber of Commerce, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Allie.
And when we come back, Coach Tommy Lewis joins us from Hilton Head Christian. We'll have the Daufuskie report and also a look at some entertaining ideas from Nancy Watts. Stay with us.
Beaufort Town Center, the perfect place to live, work, play, and shop. Uniquely located on Boundary Street, Beaufort Town Center is adjacent to city and county government buildings at the entrance of Beaufort's historic district. This new urban town center seamlessly blends lodging, office space, retail, restaurant, and residential sites with pristine views of the Intercoastal Waterway. Let the executives at Beaufort Town Center assist you with any of your real estate and leasing needs. Call today at 843-521-9000.
Recently, Hilton Head Christian's football team took home its 2nd consecutive state championship and 4th state championship in 7 years. Here to talk about that win and more is Coach Tommy Lewis. Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks, Allie. I appreciate it very much.
Talk a little bit about this championship season and team.
Well, it was. It's really a tribute to the term team. This was more than any of our championships has really been about the team. the kids really just came together. They had lost a lot from last year's team to graduation, but they didn't let that affect them. This senior class really pulled the guys together, and in the end, it really came down to our line where we had lost a lot to graduation, and it's a real tribute to those guys up front on both sides of the ball that we were able to pull off what we were able to do this year.
Well, you have some players, from my understanding, that are going to be moving on to playing at the college level, right?
Yes, we sure do, Allie. We have 9 currently that are in college athletics. 7 of those 9 that were in the football program are playing college football. 2 others are playing baseball and basketball. But we'll have 2 more. Fortunately, we have 2 more joining those ranks this coming year. Jamario Williams just verbally committed to Wofford, and Tyler Chisholm is also getting recruited, and we expect him to sign on signing date in February.
Can you talk about what it is that really makes this football team of yours unique?
Well, it's probably a combination of just our strong Christian foundation along with great competitive football. We have a few taglines and terms that we like to use, and avad is one term we like to use. It's the Hebrew root word for work and worship. We want our work out on the field, in the weight room, and on game night to reflect our worship of our Lord and Savior, and also just the great competitive football. We've been blessed with some great football families that have come through over the years, and we're a competitive program, and so I think that combination has just made us unique.
Well, Coach, you haven't given yourself credit, so I will give you some credit and congratulate you again, the team, and the school, and we thank you for your time.
Thanks so much, Allie. I appreciate it.
And now joining us on the Hilton Head News with the Daufuskie Report, Mary Amonitti. Hi, Mary.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I know you have some information for us about some upcoming seasonal events on Daufuskie.
Well, you know, Daufuskie Island is a great place to visit. Just over there a couple of weeks ago, and more people are coming over. But for an upcoming event, the Daufuskie Island Elementary School event is always one of the community favorites. And on December the 1st, Saturday, December the 1st, from 12 to 3, the students will be presenting their choral program. They're going to have food vendors there that you can purchase food. They're going to have bouncy houses, pony rides, all sorts of activities for the children. And it's only, you can buy a $10 meal, eat in or take out, and it will be $7 for children, and the children can bounce all day long for $10.
Mary, has there been any progress with development of the Daufuskie Community Park in relationship to the Recreation Land Trust grant that was received by Beaufort back in 2001 to develop that park?
Well, you know that grant is no longer in existence, but Beaufort County did not meet the deadline for the South Carolina Parks, Recreation, and Tourism on August 1st. The letter was sent to Administrator Gary Kubik. Yes, I don't know how I can forget his name, say it all the time. And what they're doing now, the Friends of Daufuskie Island Park are going to get together, and they're planning to hold public intake meetings to determine what they want to do, including a heritage park. And we are really suggesting that the people that own land there or grew up there to come out and support this effort.
I want to ask you, there was a referendum vote, a Daufuskie Special Purpose Tax District referendum, and it asked for approval to impose a property tax of up to 10% to be used only for ferry service. That the vote was no, it did not pass. So because of that vote, is that going to have any impact on the work that's being done by the Sea Island Ferry Transportation Task Force?
No, it will not. The SIF focus continues to be on the development of a ferry system, and they're hoping at this time that they could start a commission and the Beaufort County Council will get involved with that. It is so important to keep the lanes open for people to move around these sea islands. We have these beautiful waterways, and Daufuskie Island is very important to this area.
Mary Amonitti, we're out of time. I want to thank you, and I know you'll keep us updated on progress with that. And now, if you're looking for some fun things to do on Hilton Head Island with some ideas, here's Nancy Watts of Where to Go, Hilton Head Island. Hi, Nancy.
Hey there, and it's so good to be here.
Well, Festival of Trees, that's something you wanted to let us know about.
I do. In fact, someone emailed us and said, is there a Festival of Trees? And at that point, I didn't know, but there is. The Westin will be, in fact, it's already underway and will be through December the 17th. They've provided all the trees and organizations can come in and decorate those trees. And connected to each tree is a location that can be won as a prize. So that's really good.
Yeah, that sounds great. And forgive me, I said Festival of Trees. It's a celebration of trees, but it sounds like a wonderful event, a public silent auction too, and proceeds from that are going to benefit Sandalwood Community Food Pantry. You've got some great details for people that want to take in holiday music, right?
I have, but don't let me forget to tell you about Toys for Tots.
Oh, go ahead.
We do need to do the Toys for Tots. If you can pick up an extra gift for a little child that won't have one, it's a perfect opportunity. Take it with you when you go over to see the Festival of Trees. But we did want to talk about next Monday night, which is that December yes, December the 3rd.
You got it.
The Choral Society, the Hilton Head Orchestra, the First Presbyterian Handbell Choir. There'll be soloists. It will be a wonderful experience for you, and will certainly uplift you and make it a wonderful holiday season for you, starting on it is December the 3rd.
Right, December the 3rd, a holiday concert. It sounds great. And also I know that arts and crafts show is still going on over at Walter Greer Gallery.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it. There's still some wonderful gifts that have not been purchased yet, and you can do some wonderful Christmas shopping if you go over now.
That sounds super, and Anything Goes is going to be opening up there shortly.
Yes, it is. We'll talk about it next week because it comes next week.
All right. As always, Nancy Watts, great to have you with us here on the Hilton Head News. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. I'm Allie McNair. We'll see you the next time.